Hello my dears, this is Sarah from She Holds Dearly, and we are going to do some summer DIY decorating. Are you ready? A lot of this came from the thrift store, which I know we still love to get our good deals. So I'm going to give you some ideas of what to be looking for when you're out thrifting or antiquing. And then you'll be surprised, I think, at how plain these things look and how beautiful we're gonna make them. They actually have come together and really had a theme to them. So as it turns out, what we're gonna make today all is going to help add to any type of summer entertaining that you have. So any barbecues, graduations, birthdays, weddings, those kinds of things that you might be having in your yard. Well, all of this is going to take it to the next level. So let's take a look at what I've been collecting. The first thing is going to be this glass container. Now I have a lot of these, and we are gonna actually use this as a drink dispenser. I wanna kind of open your eyes to what can be done with these when it comes to entertaining. Of course, there's always the true drink dispensers, and these get donated a lot, I think, because either people aren't using them or because the spigot is not working, and so I'm gonna show you what to do with that. Okay, so that's the first sample. We've got some drink dispensers we could use. Then I have just a white sheet, and I actually have another one I'm gonna pull out because I just did the measurements and I know I'm gonna need two, but thrifted sheets. These drink dispensers probably were about, I bet they were maybe $10 each, something like that. Garage sales could be better. Sheets can run anywhere from $1 to $4. And then I have this drape. This was $2. And I loved it so much that I ended up actually purchasing the longer versions of these. This is a shorter version. I found the longer ones on Amazon, and I will link those for you because I got lots of questions. So I've got this beautiful piece. Anytime you find lace panels, lace tablecloths, crocheted bedspreads, anything with really great texture that's in a neutral, I think those are really good pieces to just have on hand. You just never know when you're gonna work them into a design. And the last thing is going to be a lampshade. And this one I like, you'll see why, but I especially liked it because it came with the finial, and we're going to do something with that. So let's make our outdoor entertaining space look really elegant with just these pieces to get us started. The first project that I want to tackle is to turn these white sheets into a long, beautiful strand of pendants, or you may have heard them called bunting. So it's just a long garland with triangle little flags on it. I know that I need about 75 feet of bunting out around my fire pit. So you might want to measure how much you would like. And then I took a regular piece of paper. I folded it in half. I'm trying to make a template here. Then I folded it in half again so I could get a center line. Then I used the very tip of that fold as my point. And then I'm folding it from the very top corner down to the center there. And then I'm just gonna cut it off. Okay, so I did that on both sides. I'm gonna cut this off. Okay, and then that gives me two. I'll just start with one. And now I'm going to cut a lot of triangles out. And one thing that you'll need to decide on, I'm going to show you this picture here. You need to decide, do you want to do this the easy way and just cut with pinking shears so that you can get the zigzag edge and that will help it not fray? Maybe you just want it for one event, and that's what I would do in that situation. I want to keep this and use it probably at bespoke. I want to use it year after year. So I'm actually going to opt for the little bit more quality method, which is to take two pieces of fabric and stitch them together and then turn them inside out. So I have to factor for losing a little bit of fabric as I turn them inside out with that seam allowance. So I actually am going to cut about a 1/4 inch wider Okay, so I am now going to get to work, and I figured out how many, I think I need like 160 triangles to do the double-sided. So if you need me, that's where I'm gonna be for a while. I am using every square inch too, so I cut it with the wide part at the top, and then I just figure that this piece down here is also another pennant, this piece up here. So I'm just flipping the triangle up, right side up and then upside down, and using every single square inch. It's going actually pretty fast. And fold your fabric. I have this weird wrinkly area right here that I didn't want to go iron, but once I get to the smoother fabric, I'm gonna probably, fold it over like 4 times, and then I can really get going. After I got all of the pennants ready, then I had to make what is bias tape. I mean, you could use a ribbon, you can buy bias tape, or you can make your own. So I cut 3-inch strips. It took a long time, but I took 3-inch strips, and then let's find a seam here. I stitched them together to make one long strip that would be 75 feet long. Then I went back and I ironed the whole 75 feet, ironed about 1/2 inch in, 1/2 inch in. I didn't measure this part. And folded it in half and ironed it again. And now I'm ready to stitch all the triangle pieces in. And I'm gonna space them 6 inches apart. And then here is the finished look. So you saw the finished pennant, or we'll call them the bunting. I've already hung it out in our fire pit area, and it's very cute. I'm very happy with it. And that brings me to something that I wanted to remind you about. I have a group called Behind the Scenes, and it is really the heart and soul of She Holds Dearly. It is a design group. We meet weekly via Zoom, so there's women from all over the country and some from around the world, and we have a Bible study, and we go through my design school, and it's a really powerful community. One of the things that we cover in that group is hospitality, and I feel like that is something that maybe a lot of us want to do, but we struggle to feel like it's good enough or that we have the resources to do a good job of it. So that's something that I cover in that group. And the group is opening for the summer to take new students. It's going to be opening May 31st. So if you're interested, I'm going to give you a link for the wait list, and hopefully you can join us for the summer. Our next DIY is going to be this lampshade. One of the things that bothers me when I'm entertaining is the amount of yellow jackets or flies that want to get interested in our food. It drives me crazy. So I am going to put food covers on my food this year, and I have been thinking about trying a lampshade. So we'll see if this works. I chose this lampshade because, one, it's big enough to put over the top of a platter. It has a wire frame that if I took all of this fabric off, it stays intact. Some lampshades are actually held together. The structure is held by the fabric. So you take the fabric off and then there's nothing left except for like a hoop at the bottom and a hoop at the top. So that won't work. I also liked that I got this finial with it. Now, it is attached to a harp, which we're not going to use this harp, but I got some E6000 and I thought I'm just going to glue that right back on and use that as a cute little, you know, a handle. Also, I know you're going to want to know, $7.99. That's what this cost. So I am going to cut off this fabric. I'm going to glue my finial on, and then I am going to spray the whole frame cream, and I will be adding this embroidered drapery all around it. Actually, I'm going to glue the finial on last. Just figure that out. But I will paint it cream. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just taking a razor blade here. I wanted to tell you about another thing that really helps, particularly with the yellow jackets when I am serving food outside. I started using these when I was beekeeping because yellow jackets are considered the terrorists of beehives. They crawl in there and they just rip honeybees in half, and they're awful. It's just a yellow jacket trap. I hung them around the hive to protect my honeybees. Well, they're about $7 a piece and they work so good. They're fabulous. And then we started taking them camping and just hanging them near, you know, a little bit of ways away from our campsite so that these yellow jackets would be taken out before they came to us. And then I started using them for like dinner parties and things. So I'll link those below. Those could be a really nice addition to your summer vacation thing. Catches 10 yellow jacket species and it will not trap a honeybee. Okay, while that is drying, I want to pop on and show you something I found that was so exciting because I already had this on my mind. Actually, let me show you the picture that inspired me. So I found this picture in Milieu, which is my favorite design magazine. Can you see there's like a bell-shaped one and then this like low domed shaped one, and this is what started my whole idea that I wanted these food covers. Found the lampshade. I found these at World Market. Okay, this one is basically exactly like the one that I saw in that picture. I'm not gonna do anything with this one. This is really big. I mean, look, I could fit it over a big oval platter, which I'm going to do here. And then this was a smaller one. Now, this one I'm actually gonna take outside and shoot it with that same spray paint to get rid of the colors. I didn't want the little rainbow colors. So the large one came to, I think, like $13, and then this one came to about $11, which these are going for over $100. So on some websites, on some European websites, they're very European. So grab those from World Market if you are in the market for that. Okay, I'm gonna go spray paint this colorful food cover, and then we're gonna come back and add the fabric. Good news, as I was walking down to spray paint this, I was picking at one of them and they just peel right off. So I'm not gonna paint this after all. I'm just gonna peel them off. Okay, we are ready to work on our food cover. I think that this drapery is going to be so perfect. So I have been playing around with this and I feel like I want to center this particular medallion on the top, and then it is ending up being really nice. So on the front and the back will be another medallion, and then the sides will be a little scallop and then flowers on this side. So figure out how to make it look good on 5 sides. And I'm gonna try hot glue, and if it just doesn't work, I'll come back with E6000 and I'll redo it. Get it started. So far, so good. Hot glue is so forgiving. So if this doesn't work, it's no big deal. So here's what the top looks like. Very pretty. And then the finial on that will be. Put that on the end. I really like it. Okay, so then for this side, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to do one side at a time. And I want my fabric to lie flat. Okay, I am almost done. I just worked in sections, and by the way, hot glue does work. I thought it didn't work, but my extension cord had given out. And so the glue was too cold and it wasn't sticking, but I figured it out. And now I'm just using hot glue. So I worked one section at a time and then trimmed, and we're about done. And the cherry on top. Okay, our last project was inspired by this picture from Milieu as well. And I'm actually going to use these just as decoration. These are so beautiful. I priced them several places, and the best place that I found is Magnolia. And I paid $16 a stem. Look at how real these look. Aren't those gorgeous? I just have a thing for blackberries. I think they're so unique, and I just want to keep collecting these. But this was my fun splurge this summer, was to get these blackberry stems. So I'm going to work these in with my drink station, just decoratively. Let's get back to these drink dispensers, because sometimes they don't have a spigot. Now you could use this just as a dry food container and maybe put oatmeal packets in it or something. The other thing you could do is put a cork in it, which I did here. You can buy corks on Amazon and use it for flour or something. The third option is to buy a spigot. They have replacement spigots on Amazon. I have done that before. We are gonna set up a drink station. Now, drinks can get really, really expensive when you have company. And so what I like to do is flavored water. And sometimes, depending on who it is, maybe that's all we have is flavored water. And that works as well. I'm gonna give you my 3 favorite combinations. Once those are done, once we add in our ingredients, then you just top it with cold water. And a lot of times a drink dispenser will not come with the stand that it originally had if you're thrifting it. And so what I like to do is just prop them up on top of a crate that I turned upside down, and that works great. The first one is strawberry lime mint. And I just slice the limes. I use frozen strawberries because then they act like ice cubes. And then I grow a lot of mint, so I just grab handfuls of that and shove that in the container. The other thing you could use is watermelon. The second flavor that I really love is cucumber. So again, we're slicing the cucumber and adding lemon. I actually love this when I'm working out too. Cucumber and lemon is just so fresh. And if you wanted to do different combinations and experiment, you totally could. I think all of these combinations, you know, mix and match would be really good. The third one I love is blackberry and thyme. If you can harvest these from your garden or your land, this is extra special to have ones that you got for free. I replaced the pole because the previous one got damaged in a windstorm. I bought this years ago and I still love it. I'm gonna link it for you. It's from World Market. My son's socks are so cute to me. It has mixed reviews, and so I have mixed feelings, but let's hope it opens. Here we go.
morning. Woohoo!
All right, I hope you enjoyed those summer DIYs and you are gonna try some of them. I am excited to enjoy this space. We're hosting 4th of July, so this will be perfect. And I've got some other ideas to do out here too. So if you're interested in learning more about hospitality, 1, sign up for the waitlist for my behind the scenes group. And 2, I'm gonna give you a printable with my favorite secret little hacks and shopping list of things that I have on hand if I need to host really quick. And so I will include that for you as well. So if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button so I can see you next week. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.